Welcome to the Soul Pit Media Health and Business Report, hosted by Craig Dawson, Vice President, Soul Pit Media.
Hello and welcome to the Soul Pit Media Health and Business Report. Today we have a very special guest. The first show of the year, I want it always to be a very positive show, and I have someone who I rely upon when I need an encouraging word or a problem that I need just to talk to someone that I could truly confide in. Today I have Pastor Ruth Winfield, Executive Director of Women of Wisdom Cafe, Inc. and Wisdom, the Insightful magazine from Greensboro, North Carolina. Pastor Ruth, welcome to the Soul Pit Media Health and Business Report.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I am definitely elated to do this, so thank you.
Now, Pastor Ruth, growing up, did you always envision yourself becoming a pastor?
Wow. Believe it or not, I didn't envision myself being saved. Being separated from the world and its antics is a wonderful thing for me. Yet God always knows how to place our life in situations and circumstances in the craziness of life that have us crying out for him. And so that was my case. And anyone that may hear this, they may be in that same situation. And so with that being said, I found myself in a church working, and in this crazy mixed up world we live in. Though I live in the world, I'm not of the world. So the chaotic situations that I encounter, I may respond to them differently. But by working in the church, what I've learned is that God had put me in situations and challenged my life in so many different areas that because I yield myself to him and submitted to his way of doing things, he taught me a lot and didn't realize that in that teaching, he was positioning me to teach others. And so I spent a lot of time, as I mentioned, in the church. I taught at a Bible college for about 5 years for students seeking a 2-year degree in biblical studies. And then not long after that, it led to my ordination. And so that's been my journey. I'm at the Lord's table and I'm feasting well. Yeah, that's how I got there.
Now, Pastor Ruth, in today's hectic and sometimes demoralizing climate in the African American community, what words of advice can you offer our listeners to give them hope in this upcoming year?
Position yourself whereby God can draw you in. Find a church to go to, get a word within yourself so that you don't have to live the life that's on the outside of you, but you can live a word that's placed on the inside of you. And the Bible lets us know in Luke 6:44 that no one can come to him except that he draws us. And we have to get in the position where God can draw us, because I can tell you, in this current climate and in this, what can I say, season of life that we're in, it's crazy. It's going to get worse. And you better have your life anchored in God, or you're going to really face some really tough times. And yielding to him and submitting your life to him and trusting him, he can lead and guide you into a place where, though you may see the chaos, you won't feel the chaos. In Isaiah chapter 9, verse 6, the prophet said this, that there would be a virgin and she would give birth to a child, and he would be a son, and the government will be upon his shoulders. And we will call him Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. And we know that to be Jesus. And this is the reason why you can trust him, is because he does what he says he's going to do. And in that prophecy from Isaiah, Mary didn't give birth to Jesus till 700 years later. And this is just an infallible proof that he does what he says he's going to do. And he performs his word on our behalf. If you're faced with challenges in life, he is your deliverer. He can bring you out of this world's chaos and this complete disorder because the government is resting on his shoulders. In this unpredictable, unknown, random acts, challenging conditions in this world system, if you don't have God, if you don't have Christ in your life, you're gonna suffer. You're gonna suffer. But know this, that is not God's design. That's not his design for you. And because he holds the government on his shoulder, he can get you out of any situation that you find your life in, because that's how he draws you. That whenever you're in challenging situations, he's reaching out his hand, trying to pull you in, trying to get your attention so you can find your seat at the king's table so that this government cannot dictate your climate. And know this, that, see, because the government is on his shoulder, he can speak one word into the mind of a political leader and have that leader change one law just to benefit you, because he is God. And besides him, there is no other. So you can change your climate. You just have to change who you serve. And Psalms 24, and I'm almost finished, but I want to hit this. Psalms 24:1 says this: the earth is the Lord's, the fullness thereof, everything in it, he owns it. So even if you're listening to this clip or you're listening to this interview and you're saying, but I don't serve him, I don't want to go to church, I don't want to serve him, I just want him to give me his goods and don't question me, don't have me align my life. Let me say this to you. Even if you don't serve him, even if you don't acknowledge him as God in your life, he still owns you. He owns everything in the world. He still owns you. And if you never serve him, that doesn't stop him from owning you and from being God. Therefore, I really challenge you that you have to change who you serve in this climate and in this season, and allow God to be the lordship of your life, because he has the provisions you need and have them set aside and have done that before the foundation of the world. You just have to decide who will be your God. Will it be the government because he owned them too? Or will it be Jesus Christ being your Lord and Savior? Because anyone depending on this world system in this season, let me just warn you, you are going to lose. You're going to lose.
Interesting. Sometimes, Pastor Ruth, we make life so complicated, and really it's not. Okay? If you just listen to what you just said, you gave a very, how can I say, you gave a very concise and precise answer, but it really wasn't as complicated as one might think, because basically what you're saying, if I'm listening to what you were saying, and I always do that, I might call you in the middle of the night and say, Pastor, I need some advice, is the fact that we make life a lot more complicated than what it is when the answer is right in front of us.
Yes, and because he created us, he made us. It is he who made us and not we ourselves. And anytime you purchase something, it comes with the manual. And in the manual, it will tell you how to put it together. Now, if after you put it together and there's a lot of screws and bolts left over, it's going to fall apart. It's going to fall apart. So God created us. And if we would just sit down and yield our lives to him and allow him to point us in a direction and where he would have us to go, though the enemy may be shooting darts at us, they're going to miss us because of who we serve.
Interesting. Now, Pastor Ruth, in addition to being a pastor, you are also a very successful businesswoman in Greensboro, North Carolina. Can you talk to our listeners about your business and how you are able to combine your two careers?
Yes, my values, the thing about being in business and being a pastor is that my values and my character and my pastoral life are all integrated with my business, meaning that My business is God's business. The magazine that I own is used as a tool to promote the kingdom of God by encouraging preachers and gospel artists and those that own businesses that looking to meet the needs of others. This magazine carries this information whereby it becomes a tool for somebody. If they decide not to go to church and they like magazines, it's another tool to reach another level of understanding. And the interesting thing about this magazine is that if we're featuring a pastor or a gospel artist or a business owner, you can click within the digital magazine and go straight into a live church service. Or you can click the gospel artist and go straight into a gospel video. It's designed with today's technology to, you don't want to go to church, you can sit right in a church service. So we're reaching out using platforms, trying to reach the hearts and minds of God's people. And it doesn't require me to change anything about my life. I recently wrote a 52-week devotional entitled Access. And it is so simplistic, Craig. It is just written in such a simplistic way that once you read each week and go through each week, it gives you a wisdom key, it gives you a summary, and it gives you scriptures where you can cross-reference it. And when you go through and you read each one, it is so very practical to life on life terms. But it tells you the difference if you have Christ in your life. Now I want to be clear that just because you're saved, it doesn't mean that you're not going to face any challenge. It doesn't mean that you're not going to face any obstacle. It doesn't mean that your life can be in a pit and you're trying to figure out. It doesn't mean that you miss all of those things in life, because it rains on the just as well as the unjust. But the difference is you got an advocate with the Father who's going to look out for you, who's going to bring you out, who's going to pull you out of that situation when it's his will, when you're abiding in him and you're obedient to what he said. You'll see that your life is transformed in situations where you apply God's word and his will to your life. Go to my website, ruthwinfield.com, and go to the Wisdom Newsstand and make sure you get a copy of Access. It's going to bless your life. Oh my God, it's going to bless your life. It's going to bless your life. It just examines how you live life through faith and trust in God, and how to gain his favor and benefits by being obedient. So go to my website, again, ruthwinfield.com, go to the page Wisdom Newsstand and pick up a copy and just take your time and read through it. It's very simplistic, and I pray and I know that it will bless your life. So yes, we definitely have to come together and support Christian-owned businesses. And then also we have to stand still and see the salvation of God in our life. And don't change your character. This is the point I think I need to make, is don't change your character and don't change who you are to be at peace with difficult people. If you're a believer, stay in character. Stay in Holy Ghost mode and let God work out any situation that you encounter.
We'll be right back with the Soul Pit Media Health and Business Report.
It doesn't matter the time nor the place, the conditions or transitions. Doesn't matter who you are or who you're with. Before, now, and always. Through all phases of life, Duquesne Light Company is here for you.
Do you like entertainment that provides diverse programming? Well, there's a new radio station that provides exactly that. Yes, Pittsburgh's diverse sports and entertainment network provides a mixed radio format and is the place for soulful music, sports talk, and lifestyle programming. Check us out at pghdsen.com. You'll be able to find our radio schedule with all of our exciting entertainment programs. Listen now by going to pghdsen.com.
It's a fact. Black Americans are disproportionately impacted by health disparities in our communities. From building better relationships between doctors and patients to breaking down barriers that affect one's health, UPMC is dedicated to healthcare equality for all. With better access to care, preventive screenings, and mental health treatment, we are working to promote the health and well-being of everyone in the communities we serve. Learn more at upmc.com/health disparities.
Port Authority has a new name, Pittsburgh Regional Transit, PRT for short. It's all about doing an even better job of getting people where they want to go every day. It's also about getting people where they want to go in their careers. PRT is looking for some new faces. We're hiring for every position. We offer great pay and benefits and a direct route to a great future. Go to rideprt.org/careers. PRT is an equal opportunity employer.
Looking for a cost-effective way to help increase your company's bottom line? Look no further than Soul Pit Media. With our award-winning print, internet, podcast, and Soul Pit television options, we can help your business get to that next level. For more information, contact Craig Dawson at 412-407-7685. That's 412-407-7685. And let Soul Pit Media take you to that next level.
Yeah, who's this? Don Stogie, it's me, Nick the Nub. Hey, my boy, what you got for me? Boss, I got the bundle on some bad news about your best customer, Sammy Sticks. What, sleeping with the fishes? Nah, he's still with Wanda, but he's been herfing with the Cigar Fathers. The Godfathers? No, boss. Cigar Fathers, you know. Friendly, knowledgeable staff, live outdoor patio jams, and a wide selection of cigars and cigar accessories. Oh, how do you know so much about this place? Well, boss, because I've been coming back all week. What? Hey, I'm sorry, Don Stogie, but with everything Cigar Fathers is offering, I couldn't refuse.
It's a fact. Black Americans are disproportionately impacted by health disparities in our communities. From building better relationships between doctors and patients to breaking down barriers that affect one's health, UPMC is dedicated to healthcare equality for all. With better access to care, preventive screenings, and mental health treatment, we are working to promote the health and well-being of everyone in the communities we serve. Learn more at upmc.com/health disparities.
Do you like entertainment that provides diverse programming? Well, there's a new radio station that provides exactly that. Yes, Pittsburgh's diverse sports and entertainment network provides a mixed radio format and is the place for soulful music, sports talk, and lifestyle programming. Check us out at pghdsen.com. You'll be able to find our radio schedule with all of our exciting entertainment programs. Listen now by going to pghdsen.com.
The future of transit is now, and we are working to improve your ride. Look for bus tracking technologies and other innovations to keep you better informed. Getting around town has never been so easy. PortAuthority.org.
Did you know that STD rates have increased in Allegheny County?
No, I did not.
Yeah, especially for people under 30.
Maybe I should go get tested.
In Allegheny County, symptomatic syphilis cases increased by 97% and gonorrhea cases by 18% in the past year. And having multiple STDs increases your chances of getting HIV.
Oh, wow. Do you know where I can go get tested?
The Public Health Clinic offers free walk-in STD and HIV screening located at 1908 Wiley Avenue, Pittsburgh, PA. 15219.
And it looks like I know what I'm doing tomorrow, getting tested, and I'll make sure to spread the word.
For more information, call 412-578-8081 or visit AlleghenyCounty.us/HIV.
We're back with the Soul Pit Media, Health, and Business Report. It was interesting what you're saying because just a couple of nights ago, I was talking to my wife and we were discussing the fact that before we got married, my daughter had a massive aneurysm. Okay, she spent 45 days in intensive care. And when I saw her bill, I almost had an aneurysm. When I saw that, and then from that, she had to come and live with us. And bringing her back from everything. And then right after that, I was diagnosed with an aggressive form of cancer. Okay. And I went through maybe 30 radiation treatments and hormonal treatments and everything that I went through. And then when I went through that, and maybe about 6 months later, I had an irregular heartbeat. So I went to the doctor, and the doctor gave me a monitor. And I can laugh about it now, but Reverend Winfield, when I got home, I didn't even get home good. And they called me and they said, come to the hospital immediately. Okay. And I had to get a pacemaker put in. And we were talking about everything. And I said to my wife that she said, you really kept a really good attitude with everything. And I said basically that God's people never had it easy, at least the Bible that I read. Have they been blessed? Absolutely. Did they have it easy? Absolutely not. But the one thing that they all had in common was they still believed.
And that's the key point. That's the key, that God wants you to believe and trust in him. I'm glad you shared that, because God positioned you to a point where you had to rely on him. He put you in a position whereby you had to reach out to him and trust him in your situation. And there are individuals who wouldn't have made it through what you made it through. With your daughter and with your condition, they wouldn't have made it through that. But obviously, God has positioned you to trust him, to rely upon him, because he is the healer. He is the wonderful. He is the redeemer. He is the deliverer. He requires us to trust in him. I was talking to my brother who's retired law enforcement, and he always had a short wick when it comes to temperament. His temperament was just so short. It was so short. And I would say to him, you need to slow down, because if you're always in a rush and always pushing forward and always trying to move, there are other people that what they need to do is just as important as what you need to do. And I prayed for him, because his tolerance level was very low. And he found himself being attacked by the devil, because the devil knew that he had no tolerance level. All he would do is just keep getting him in positions that he knew he couldn't handle. And this year, I really seen God deliver him out of that. And we were talking about it about a week or so ago. And he was saying, you know what, sis, I just take my time now. I told him, I see your growth. I see what God did in your life. I said, and the truth of the matter is, now the devil can't attack you in that area anymore, because you've been delivered from it. God has set you free from that. So if he had to come at you, he had to come at you with something else. So my point is, Craig, God has taught you how to pace yourself through your situation. And the enemy may try to attack your mind and say things to your mind because of your condition, but God knows that it is him who is keeping you. It is him that is giving you the peace. And now you can sit back and laugh about it, because if it was up to him, he would have wanted it to be a different outcome. But God said, no, you can't touch it.
It got me to a point, Pastor Ruth, where I had to make some hard choices as far as my life was concerned. See, with people, anyone who's not gone through radiation treatment, they put you in a long tube. See, I'm claustrophobic anyway. They put you in a long tube, and it's real dark, and they wheel you in, and you can't move because the radiation is treating a certain area of your body. And it gives you a lot of time to think, not just about what you did, also about things you may not have done right, and what changes do you really want to make if, and I emphasize, if you get through this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's how God gets our attention. He let life circumstances and situations come in, and he gets our attention, but it makes us yield ourselves to him. And then, as you said, we make the changes necessary. because we don't like the position that we're in, and we want to be delivered. We want to be set free. We want to be healed. We want to walk according to the plan that God has spoke to us about while we were in a condition where He had our attention.
Our full attention.
Absolutely.
Our full attention.
Complete attention. Absolutely. And then, you know, to have your baby girl and you handling her and you, but you know what? God brought you out of it. He took you through it, brought you through it, got your attention. And I'm sure that he made you make those adjustments in your life.
Oh, absolutely. It's just a situation where, as you stated, life had been up to that point pretty easy for me, if I could say that. As far as I was always a hard worker, but I was blessed with good jobs and different things that I did in life. And it was relatively easy up until that point. And for all the blessings that I have received, it was now, which way do you go? I could have said, why me? Why is this happening? Or I could look at it and look, first of all, the first thing I did was look in the mirror. Because I'm a firm believer, Pastor Ruth, we can solve at least half of our problems if we just looked in the mirror. Okay?
Yeah, absolutely. If we could see ourselves. And the hardest thing for people to do is see themselves. That's anybody. To see ourselves, to see what we have done and should have done and didn't do. And the things that we did do, we can always point out what other people do, but look in the mirror. What about ourselves? What do we need to do?
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting time in my life.
But God brought you through.
Absolutely. Now, Pastor Ruth, you've known me for quite a while, and you've always been someone I could always turn to receive guidance and the spiritual knowledge that I need. But you also have a twin sister who's also a minister. Now, they say twins think alike. Okay, how was that growing up? Did you both have this vision that maybe one day this would be something you would do, or did God work with you both separately?
He actually, I think I may not have the specific time, but I was probably saved 2 years before she was. And to a degree, as a twin growing up, we did think alike. We would feel each other's pain. If one of us got in trouble, it felt like we both got in trouble, even though we didn't. We would literally feel each other's pain. If we got in trouble in school, it wasn't tough on her. It was tough on me too. So we both felt each other's pain. There were instances when we would answer a question simultaneously, same answer, same time, and we would just laugh. But then it was that side that says, how does it feel to be an individual not being connected to me? I know one side would say, I wonder what it's like to be a twin. We were wondering what it was like not to be a twin. Yeah, but post high school and growing up and you mature and you're adult, all of that fades. It fades. While there is some truth to it when it came to us, but it fades. After a while, it fades. It's not a permanent thing. But she started ministering probably 2 years after me. And of course, she still stayed in the Ohio area and me down here in North Carolina. But yeah, it's good to have somebody that you're close to, that you have that closeness to. So yeah, it was an interesting part of life being a twin. I think the part that I disliked the most is when you would see people and we're walking, my sister and I would be walking together and they'd say, okay, stand together. Let me see if I can tell y'all apart. Are you Ruthella or are you Joella? And you had to stand there. And sometimes we would just nod our head yes, just to get away. It was always the same people all the time. Once you stand there and see if they could tell you apart. So it was an interesting life, but we're definitely different now. And that fades over time. It's not a permanent thing. But there was some uniqueness to twins growing up.
Now, Pastor Ruth, we always like to end each podcast with a message to our younger listeners. What message can you give our younger listeners to get them to continue to have hope for the future?
as young people, only answer I can really give them is I would love to see them find the Creator at a young age. Therefore, they can find their purpose and be clear on their path. I got saved at age 26, Thanksgiving Sunday, and I'll never forget it. But it helped me to find my right path in life. It helped me to not spend my time or waste my time or waste my life spinning my wheels and going nowhere. Nothing profiting, nothing moving. Seems like every door you go to is shut. Nothing is opening for you. And young people, if you got a niche to start a business, do that. But please find your Creator so you know your purpose, so you can get guidance, so you can be successful in what you put your hands to do. And I know it doesn't seem to be popular among the generation that we look at. Church doesn't seem to be popular, but I can guarantee you that if you find Him early, you'll be glad that you did. So don't waste your time in this world system looking for somebody to just give you something. And especially in the season that we're in now. My God, you better find your place in the kingdom. You better ask for a seat at the Lord's table. You better go somewhere where you can be drawn to Him so that He could give you direction and that you can have prayer over your life. I know my grandmother prayed for me when I was younger. Somebody had to pray for me because I could never be where I was today if somebody didn't pray for me. And I just pray for this generation that they understand that this world system and this government is not going to give you handouts. As a matter of fact, they're probably orchestrating a plan or devising a plan where to take back some of that they're already giving you. Please get in somebody's church and hear the word of God so that you can find your place in the kingdom, so that you can live it out on earth. It says, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Mirror heaven in earth. Because if you're looking for someone to make it happen for you, no, I can tell you, unless God sent it or you got a rich family member or somebody that want to invest in you. And then at the same time, if God's hand ain't on it, it'll be like holes in your pocket. Find your place, find your seat at the King's table. For all the young people, and let God demonstrate to you what He can be in your life. And when you fall under His lordship and you allow Him to guide your life, even if you're working in a secular environment, you will stand out from everybody else because of who you serve. Don't waste your time in areas that's not going to pay off.
You know what, Pastor Ruth, I had a conversation with someone earlier that, see, at least in my generation, in my household, I have a different perception of church because our parents back then, you were made to go to church. There was no middle ground as far as, I don't think I want to go this week or I got something else to do. No, that was not it. My grandmama actually ran a Sunday school. And you know who she was waiting on? Her little grandkids to walk through that door. And the rule was you could miss church if you were sick. Now, if you weren't sick, there was no after-school activities. If you was on the basketball team, you was a no-show that week, or the football team, or if there was a record hop. I don't know, I'm telling my age there when I say record hop.
I remember the record hop in my unsaved state. I remembered it. I remember it well.
So there was none of that for the whole week. Absolutely. And I firmly believe, now this is just personal with me, that a lot of the problems with our youth is because of the lack of knowing how merciful and who God really is. Now that's personal with me because it's hard to envision something you've never seen or experienced. Okay. And I know that based upon my parents being forceful enough to make us have the experience, whereas you could even judge for yourself, okay, which way you wanted to go, as opposed to only being shown one way, and that's the way that you choose that is not the right way. I really can appreciate what you just said. And before, I would be remiss if I didn't say to you, through all the hard times that I went through, and when I wasn't exactly 100% sure if I was going to make it or not, you always was very positive in counseling me and letting me know that God can handle. Give your burdens to what I got out of it. Give your burdens to God, and everything else will work its way out.
Absolutely. You win if you don't give up. You can't allow the devil to make you quit. He's not allowed. That's not his privilege. So you win. You can't give up. You can't afford to give up. And you are so right. Back in the day, if you didn't go to church, you couldn't go outside. You wasn't going anywhere else if you couldn't go to church. But we have parents nowadays trying to hang with the youth instead of being a parent. Not all of them, but some of them. They didn't parent. Some of them don't parent the way we parent, the way our parents parented, and the way we parented. And so we, in turn, by not keeping them in Bible study in church, where the seed of the word can hit their heart, and though they may not understand it then, but a situation will come up where that word will come to the surface that they heard. But if they don't have that, there's nothing coming. And it's we parents, if you're listening to this, and I know you are, make sure that you have proper stewardship over your children. Make sure that if God gave them to you, in which he did, you need to give them back to him. You will find that you will have less problems, less challenges, less trips to the jailhouse, to the bail house. Come on, give our kids back to the Lord. They'll never forget it. The Bible says that if we give our children to the Lord, the Bible talks about, and when they grow old, they won't depart from it. Like you said, you will always come back to that which you know, that which you were taught. And our young people, they need to hear from the Lord. They need to be in church. And that will set the stage for their life, the path, the journey that they'll take.
Absolutely.
And when they grow old, they won't depart from it. Yes.
Pastor Ruth, I had a conversation with my daughter's a little older than I could talk to her. I told her, see, when you was in your 20s, I couldn't stand you. You know that? And I remember telling her that it's not my job to be your friend. It's my job to be your parent.
Absolutely.
It is not my job to be on the social list and tell you everything that you do right. It's my job to be your parent, whether you agree or disagree. It is not my job to, now I can become your friend, but that's not my job. And
absolutely not.
Pastor Ruth, she was like, yeah, Dad, I understand now what you were saying. I said, you really didn't understand then what I was saying back then. But, Pastor Ruth, I'll say this. I want to thank you, first of all, for taking time out of your very busy schedule to do the first show of the year this year, because I always find you to be someone that's very uplifting, very positive. And in today's world, now more than ever, we need the hope that our grandparents and our great-grandparents had, that there's no adversity that we cannot overcome. And there was an old saying that by the prayers of many, we made it through. And I definitely want to thank you for taking time out to talk to our audience this evening. And I just want to say that you've always been there for me personally. And sometimes you don't get a chance to say the things that you should say. And I want to take this time to say thank you so much and look forward to talking with you again in the future.
Absolutely. Been my pleasure indeed. I thank you all for having me. And I continue to pray for the So Pitt organization. As a matter of fact, you all know that I'm there for you. I pray that you all continue to grow, expand, and increase. And if you need me, just reach out.
I most certainly will. And God bless you. We'll be right back with the Soul Pit Media Health and Business Report.
It doesn't matter the time nor the place, the conditions or transitions. Doesn't matter who you are or who you're with. Before, now, and always. Through all phases of life. Duquesne Light Company is here for you.
Do you like entertainment that provides diverse programming? Well, there's a new radio station that provides exactly that. Yes, Pittsburgh's diverse sports and entertainment network provides a mixed radio format and is the place for soulful music, sports talk, and lifestyle programming. Check us out at pghdsen.com. You'll be able to find our radio schedule with all of our exciting entertainment programs. Listen now by going to pghdsen.com.
It's a fact. Black Americans are disproportionately impacted by health disparities in our communities. From building better relationships between doctors and patients to breaking down barriers that affect one's health, UPMC is dedicated to healthcare equality for all. With better access to care, preventive screenings, and mental health treatment, we are working to promote the health and well-being of everyone in the communities we serve. Learn more at upmc.com/health disparities.
Port Authority has a new name, Pittsburgh Regional Transit, PRT for short. It's all about doing an even better job of getting people where they want to go every day. It's also about getting people where they want to go in their careers. PRT is looking for some new faces. We're hiring for every position. We offer great pay and benefits and a direct route to a great future. Go to rideprt.org/careers. PRT is an equal opportunity employer.
Looking for a cost-effective way to help increase your company's bottom line? Look no further than Soul Pit Media. With our award-winning print, internet, podcast, and Soul Pit television options, we can help your business get to that next level. For more information, contact Craig Dawson at 412-407-7685. That's 412-407-7685. And let Soul Pit Media take you to that next level.
Yeah, who's this? Don Stogie, it's me, Nick the Nub. Hey, my boy, what you got for me? Boss, I got the bundle on some bad news about your best customer, Sammy Sticks. What, sleeping with the fishes? Nah, he's still with Wanda, but he's been herfing with the Cigar Fathers. The Godfathers? No, boss. Cigar Fathers, you know. Friendly, knowledgeable staff, live outdoor patio jams, and a wide selection of cigars and cigar accessories. Oh, how do you know so much about this place? Well, boss, because I've been coming back all week. What? Hey, I'm sorry, Don Stogie, but with everything Cigar Fathers is offering, I couldn't refuse.
It's a fact. Black Americans are disproportionately impacted by health disparities in our communities. From building better relationships between doctors and patients to breaking down barriers that affect one's health, UPMC is dedicated to healthcare equality for all. With better access to care, preventive screenings, and mental health treatment, we are working to promote the health and well-being of everyone in the communities we serve. Learn more at upmc.com/health disparities.
Do you like entertainment that provides diverse programming? Well, there's a new radio station that provides exactly that. Yes, Pittsburgh's diverse sports and entertainment network provides a mixed radio format and is the place for soulful music, sports talk, and lifestyle programming. Check us out at pghdsen.com. You'll be able to find our radio schedule with all of our exciting entertainment programs. Listen now by going to pghdsen.com.
The future of transit is now, and we are working to improve your ride. Look for bus tracking technologies and other innovations to keep you better informed. Getting around town has never been so easy. PortAuthority.org.
Did you know that STD rates have increased in Allegheny County?
No, I did not.
Yeah, especially for people under 30.
Maybe I should go get tested.
In Allegheny County, symptomatic syphilis cases increased by 97% and gonorrhea cases by 18% in the past year. And having multiple STDs increases your chances of getting HIV.
Oh, wow. Do you know where I can go get tested?
The Public Health Clinic offers free walk-in STD and HIV screening located at 1908 Wiley Avenue, Pittsburgh, PA, 15219.
It looks like I know what I'm doing tomorrow, getting tested, and I'll make sure to spread the word.
For more information, call 412-578-8081 or visit AlleghenyCounty.us/HIV.
We're back with the Soul Pit Media, Health, and Business Report.
Hi, this is Debbie Norrell, and welcome to the Soul Pit Media Health and Business Report Community Calendar. For those who have been diagnosed with breast cancer and those who have stood by loved ones' sides, we celebrate the strength in all of you. To learn more about screenings, innovative therapies, and compassionate experts, visit upmc.com/breast cancer awareness. Here are the top 5 reasons to go to the public health clinic. They offer free and confidential HIV, syphilis, gonorrhea, and chlamydia testing. 2, if diagnosed with an STI, they offer free treatment for syphilis, gonorrhea, and chlamydia on site. Number 3, no appointment is needed. Number 4, they provide free condoms to all patients. And number 5, their staff is great and knowledgeable. To learn more about the public health clinic, visit the clinic at 1908 Wiley Avenue, Pittsburgh, PA, 15219, or call 412-578-8081. Become a classroom grandparent to make a difference in your community. Here are some of the benefits: non-taxable, non-reportable stipend, paid time off, paid birthday and holidays, travel reimbursement, make new connections, learn new skills, events and awards, supplemental accident and liability insurance. Here are the qualifications. You must be age 55 or older, meet income guidelines, must pass all required background checks. For more information, call 412-660-6841 or 412-660-7303. Use only cash but want the convenience of paying your fare with your smartphone? Ready Cash turns your cash into an instant mobile ticket, valid on all Pittsburgh Regional Transit vehicles. Visit any Connect Card vending machine or participating PRT retailer displaying the Ready Cash decal to add cash to your Ready to Ride account. Then use that cash to purchase your mobile ticket. Don't forget to visit thesoulpit.com for the latest in theater, musical entertainment, job opportunities, and health information. That's thesoulpit.com. Thank you for listening to the Soul Pit Media Health and Business Report, brought to you by Pittsburgh Regional Transit. Looking for a great job with benefits? Check out their website, rideprt.org/careers. Thank you for tuning in to the Soul Pit Media Health and Business Report, hosted by Craig Dawson, Vice President, Soul Pit Media. Thank you, Pittsburgh, for your continued support.